The swamp felt quiet now. Gone were the days of laughter and mud fights. Shrek, once a vibrant ogre of legend, was now 95. Age had taken its toll. His once bright green skin was pale and wrinkled. His booming laugh was now a raspy cough. But the cruelest blow was the theft of his memory.
He would often call out for Fiona, his voice cracking with confusion. "Fiona, my love, where are ye?"
His children, grown and weary, would exchange pained glances. They couldn't bring themselves to tell him the truth. Fiona, their radiant mother, had succumbed to a swift illness a decade ago.
The once bustling swamp, filled with the joy of family, was now shrouded in a heavy silence. Shrek's children did their best to care for him. They told him stories of their childhood, hoping to spark a flicker of recognition. But the past remained elusive, lost in the fog of his fading memory.
Shrek would often sit by the window, gazing out at the setting sun. A single tear would roll down his cheek, a tear for a love he could no longer recall, but never forgot. The news of Shrek's condition reached Donkey, his loyal companion. Donkey, forever young at heart, refused to believe it. He remembered their adventures, their laughter, the unbreakable bond they shared. He decided to visit Shrek, convinced he could make things right. He arrived at the swamp, his hooves barely touching the ground in his haste.
"Shrek, old buddy, it's me, Donkey!" he called out, his voice filled with forced cheer.
Shrek turned, his eyes clouded with confusion.
"Donkey, do I know you?"
Donkey's heart sank. The truth was a punch to the gut. His best friend, the ogre who had faced dragons and ogres and even Lord Farquaad, didn't recognize him. He felt a tear roll down his cheek.
"It's me, Donkey, your best pal. Don't you remember?"
Shrek shook his head slowly. The memories were gone, lost in a maze of forgotten yesterdays. Donkey refused to give up. He sat beside Shrek, determined to rekindle the flame of their friendship. Donkey began to recount their shared history. He spoke of their first encounter, of rescuing Princess Fiona from the tower. He mimicked Shrek's gruff voice, his fear of heights, their daring escape from the dragon. He spoke of their wedding, the birth of their children. He talked for hours, his voice hoarse but determined.
At times, a flicker of recognition would cross Shrek's face, a ghost of a smile touching his lips. Donkey clung to those moments, his heart aching with a mixture of hope and despair. As he described Shrek's heroic deeds, his compassion for those he loved, a change came over Shrek. His eyes, once dull and lifeless, began to sparkle with a faint light. He gripped Donkey's hoof, his voice a raspy whisper. "Fiona, the dragon, Donkey."
A single tear rolls down Shrek's cheek as Donkey recounts their adventures. A glimmer of recognition shines in his eye.